Welcome to tonight's live show. Is our Wednesday night live. I'm Mrs. Car Doctor here to assist
Yep, and I'm Alex, the car doctor, here
with
for you in general.
not all the way though.
Yeah.
Just for car stuff. Don't be asking my man no extra stuff. Anyways, tonight's live is going to be about how to shop for a car without getting ripped off. One of the most common questions we get on all the platforms: TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. What car should I buy? What car should I buy? I'm looking at buying this car. What car should I buy? So we thought it'd be cool to make a Wednesday night live. As you guys know, the Wednesday nights are topical.
And it's one of my favorite subjects, how to shop for cars. I stay shopping for cars.
I know, right? You do a little bit too much shopping. So, anyway, to help you guys figure out what cars you should buy. So, to start it off, the first thing you need to do is know yourself. What do you want the car for? Why do you need the car? Do you have kids? I sold a expedition to a lady and it had third row seats, but it was just her. But she wanted the third row so she could fit her two big dogs in the back. So it just depends on you, first of all.
Yeah, that's what I always ask people. They was like, "Yeah, what car should I buy?" I always ask them, "Well, what are your needs?" Ask yourself these questions. I mean, do I have a family? Am I towing heavy loads? Am I trying to save fuel just to go to A and B? Um, everybody have needs,
Mm-hmm.
and the many makers, the many automakers are trying to appease the world when it comes to all these different brands and different types of vehicles and different styles. So it's like more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, I think so. Good evening, Colonel Buckshot.
Hey, what's going on, Colonel
Jose
Buckshot?
Cifuentes says make sure you get it inspected at a reputable mechanic. That's
Yes,
number
that's for
one.
sure.
That's number one right there. Says Colonel Buckshot says wait a minute, I skipped one. What about an Outlander Sport? We love Mitsubishi.
Yeah, Mitsubishis are
Yeah.
good to go in my book.
Um Colonel Buckshot says, according to Alex, those Chevy trucks with the DOD AFM are a win-win. Lies.
A win-win for me, but I
Right.
just done stopped doing them, to be honest with you,
It's a
because
win-win for the shop because we
um
makes money,
I
but
keep
that's
having
it.
parts issues. So I,
Yeah, we're gonna tell y'all. I've broken Shan, my front desk person, has broken so many hearts these past 2 weeks of
mm,
people calling in and wanting their lifters done, but we're just not gonna do any more GM lifters. Dion James says, "Why your hands never be dirty?"
I work smart, not hard. Booyah! Nah, seriously though. And plus, um, as a shop owner, yeah, my hands are always clean.
hmm
As a shop
Wait a
owner,
minute. First of all, I don't play that. Don't touch me if your hands dirty. Please wash your
but
hands.
no, serious notes. And this is what I tell my technicians. When you finish working on a vehicle, wash your hands before you get into somebody else's vehicle or when doing a test drive. I never allow my guys or myself get in a vehicle with just like black, dirty hands.
hmm
Um, I respect people vehicles.
I think y'all
So
wash y'all hands more than the
yeah,
doctor.
we do. Because we don't want to track stuff in people cars. We don't want to have the customer get in the car and touch their steering wheel and their hands looking like a mechanic. That's not a good look.
So that's why he's saying. Plus, like I
Yeah,
said, he can't come up in
I
here.
stay scrubbing.
Right,
I
right, right.
like clean hands.
So back to the topic at hand, though. When you're buying cars, what are your needs? Like, okay, for us, we have 5 children, sometimes 6 or 7 with nieces and nephews that come along. So I know off the bat, if I'm looking for an SUV, there'll be one. What do you need it for? And I heard that I read, I'm not sure if it's true, but the mid-size sedan, they're doing away with those. So you got the SUVs, you have the crossovers,
It's too many to name, to be
you
honest.
got your small size sedan, but the mid size sedans like except the Camry, I guess that's gonna stick around. But like the Passat, they're doing away with that
Hmm.
one. So I guess just the changes of people. So
Well,
yeah.
our particular needs is this. When I'm in search for a vehicle, it has to be able to tow. I have the camper. I have a car hauler. I told to go get for sale cars.
Mhm.
Um, I'm probably gonna be getting a boat in the future, so it has to tow. It has to tow and carry up to like 12 people. To me, only one thing really fits that.
And I'm not getting in no minivan.
Only one thing fits that. So I opted for a Chevy Express van with
Mhm.
the good old LS660.
So I sold my Lincoln Navigator, and I love that truck
Oh man, that
actually,
truck was
but it
nice.
only seats
Seven.
7.
And it's
There is
seven of us.
7 of us, which doesn't leave room for our daughter to bring her friends along. So that's really why we got rid of that truck and got a Chevy Express. So number one, know your needs, and
Mhm.
then that'll help you narrow down the search because there's so many cars out here for sale. There's so many different stuff, different brands. Then you got brands that's sister brands that's making
Yeah.
the same car with the different names, but it's the
So
same car underneath. So it's so many different
you'll be
things.
getting out of a car and be like, oh man, I hated this car. It's always breaking down and it had terrible reviews after you know how people do after they buy the car and driving and start having problems with it. Then they research the car
Hmm.
and they just found out all kind of horror stories about it. What they do, they go out and get another sister car of that car with
Same
the
problem.
same engine and transmission, not knowing it's going to give them the same problems.
Which bring me to step number 2. Research, research,
Yes.
research. We're living in a day and time, honey. You can TikTok a car. You could doggone go as there's so many different
TikTok a car.
forums, so many different YouTube videos. I
Mhm.
know we like to do the top 5 anytime we get a chance.
Yeah.
We haven't had a chance lately, but I think the next top 5 we're going to do is the Chevrolet Cruze since we got
Chevrolet,
2 of them.
yeah, Chevrolet
So top
Cruze.
5 problems with the Chevrolet Cruze, research, and then also to match that up against your budget. Like I had a
Mhm.
guy ask me once, he wanted to know the price of an alternator on a car that I was selling. That's smart. That's the
Yeah.
smartest question I ever got.
Look up the parts of these
Hmm.
vehicles.
Is it affordable? Can you afford to do the alternator and the starter? If those, because that stuff is gonna go out.
Mhm. That's common
Yeah.
failure items on
So
any vehicle.
can you afford to do that stuff? And then um I haven't heard nothing positive about Carvana.
I thought I heard it was going down.
I don't know, but where you get the car from
It does matter.
definitely matters. So that Colonel Buckshot says, make sure any car is inspected underneath for rust. Those Yankees are dumping their rust buckets on us innocent Southern folk. We had a
and,
customer.
and I can't work on them. Be
Right.
honest with
Oh,
you.
that's Alex
I'm be like,
Kryptonite. It's
nope.
rust.
You look at
Um,
it wrong, it's gonna break.
we had a young lady come in, and I had to check on her because I don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
it was a sad thing, man. I feel bad
What
about
was
her.
it? A
A
Honda
Honda something, a
Civic?
Civic, yeah.
And it was a beautiful car, but she had this doggone check engine light that just would not go off. And Alex, she had just bought it. Her first purchase, I think she spent about $5,000 or $6,000 for it. And there's a short about it on our channel. But you lift it up top, it looked beautiful. Would have
Mhm.
fooled me if I didn't have a mechanic husband. But we lift the car up, it was rust
It was structurally
everywhere.
unsafe. I
Right.
told her, and it just sucks having to give her the bad news. The car was so rusted, it was starting to corrode the wires underneath, causing check engine light problems.
Hmm.
Um, where the suspension, the lower control arms, where the suspension meets the body of the vehicle, just rusted. It looked like you'll look at it wrong, and the suspension will fall apart. The bumper brace behind it just oh man,
When
it's
we broke
terrible.
her news, she really instantly started crying. And so I had to go in the bathroom and get her some tissue. She's a young lady. She's out here trying to make it in the world. And the person
Mhm.
who sold her the car knew it because they spray painted the
They spray painted the rust black, and
yeah,
it was
in some
fresh too.
areas. So they knew they was trying to get over on somebody. Thinker Outside the Box says, good evening,
Hey, what's
fam.
going on, buddy?
Hey, Thinker Outside the Box. Otis says, what year models of Dodge Ram 1500 to avoid?
Anything,
2009 to 2019.
anything with the DOD in it. Oh,
Hey,
not that Dodge Ram have
Hemi lifters.
yeah, it's a DOD system too. They're called AFM. It's called AFM. Dang, I forgot. I work on
You be having too
yeah,
much going
too
on up
much.
in here. But you know what?
They go down to 4 cylinders too.
Dodge is currently getting sued.
That's all over
That's
the
current
news.
news right now.
And then look, we read the headlines, right? Talking about some, if you're hearing the ticking, something they were saying it could cause. Now I don't get this. How could it cause an accident? They say it could potentially cause an
I don't know.
accident.
I'm looking it
Look,
up right
look.
now.
I was thinking. I was telling my front lady. I was like, I guess the only way it could cause an accident is the person next to you hear a ticking noise and they think it's a bomb and they freak out and run off the road and hey, it was a Dodge next to me. It was ticking. I thought it was a bomb or I freaked out. Sorry.
I don't know, but who else getting sued? Hyundai is getting sued again. They're urging owners to park outside because if you park in a garage, there's a chance the car might catch on fire and just burn your whole house down. So, to answer his question, the best Ram was.
I like the older ones, to be honest with you, before they start complicating, trying to turn V8s into 4 cylinders. Not a good idea. It's a waste. But hey, if you have the money to maintain that sucker and get it fixed when something do go wrong, I say go for it.
I think the current Dodge lawsuit got something to do with the Hellcat, but I'll read it later. And
no, it's something to do with the ticking. I think I seen the headlines for ticking.
It says Dodge Durango Hellcat owner sue Stellantis for extending product run.
Man, they getting sued left.
It's just too many people. GM got sued. Honda, Kia getting sued. Now Dodge is getting sued. The only people that I haven't seen getting sued is Ford.
I'll tell you something.
And I don't think that the Ford people are participating in the strike that's going on right now because Ford is actually trying to work with the union and meet some of those demands. So right now, it's looking like Stellantis, Honda, Kia.
They all in the same boat.
They all in the same boat. Chevrolet, GM, I don't know. It's the Wild Wild West out there when it comes to buying cars. Juan Gomez, good evening to you, sir.
Buddy.
Travesty Inc. says, what's good tonight, Mr. and Mrs. Car Doctor? Nothing.
We're just chilling it.
Man, it's been a tiring day.
Long day.
Our daughter is running for her homecoming, and tomorrow we find out if she win or not. And I can't wait for this to be over. Okay, I'm ready for it.
My wallet ready for it to be over.
Right. Joe says, dang, Dodge too. Yes, I cut on the internet today, and that was front page internet news. Dodge is getting sued. OJ says, is it normal for a 2018 Hyundai Grand i10 1.25 to use 1 quart every 2,000 miles?
Yeah, these newer vehicles, they're going to probably say that's normal. To me, it's a little excessive. I'll say maybe under half a quart, because not only is it using a quart every 2,000 miles, they're extending the range of the oil change intervals on these newer cars up to 10,000 miles, depending on what you got, or up to 6,000 miles. And that if that's a 4-quart system, you're going to be out of oil by the end of when it comes to the oil change, potentially causing damage.
But doesn't Hyundai have the
they have
oil consumption issues? So you need to
out the wazoo. Yeah, oil and Hyundai and they oil consumption issues is a serious thing.
I don't know, buddy. I haven't.
I have to look at the manual, but to me, it's a little excessive.
All right, let me catch up on the comments and then we'll go to number 3. So I don't know, for you guys that just came in here, number 1 was when you're looking for a car, what are your needs? You need to narrow that down and see what you need to come. You don't want to, you might want to buy the Durango. I just had a customer the other day. He bought a Chevy Cruze from me. He was like, man, I had a Durango Citadel too on the lot that I sold to another gentleman. He said, man, I don't really need that. I'm just really.
He was very smart. He was thinking with his head.
Be smart. Buy what you need. You know what I'm saying?
He just wanted it because it had the Hemi in it and he wanted to go fast and look good, which is fine.
Wait a minute. Let me rephrase it. If you can pay to play, you can buy whatever you want to buy. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your everyday average consumer who is budget savvy and wants to get what they got to go. Now, if you one of them ones that want to buy European and Mercedes because it's a status symbol to you, go right on ahead, baby. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to regular Joe.
The average folks, just like
me and him. right?
Yeah.
All right, number 2 was research. And then I'm going to go back to the comments right quick just to catch up with everybody. Colonel Buckshot says those Dodge Hemis love to eat camshaft lobes.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. But I will say this. You know, is that battery plugged up?
It should.
Okay. I will say this.
I don't know.
A lot of the Hemis, and I've heard of people saying, it's fine, babe.
It's not charging.
It's fine. Did you hook up the right charger? Excuse us. We have just leave it. Come on back. You're so cute. Come on back and sit back next to me.
I'm trying to fix it real quick.
Babe, leave it. Come on. See, he always got to fix stuff 24/7.
Right, so if the live just stopped,
it won't. And we have 20%. All right. Anyway, I know what you can fix. Anyway, I'm off topic. I haven't seen, and you guys comment below if you have, but all the Hemi lifters that we have had to do have been on Dodges, whether it had been a Ram or a Charger for over around 200,000 miles.
Yeah, they last a lot longer than the GM.
So I'm not sure. Now, I've heard someone say they had some lifters go out on their Hemi about 90,000 miles, but I'm wondering what contributed to that.
Yeah, anything could have contributed to that.
So, but most of the lifters that we see in the shop, they're at 200,000 miles. Colonel Buckshot says Ford's in trouble financially with the EVs they made that they can't sell. I really think that's a phase. I don't think EV is gonna stick around. You know what I'm saying?
People have too much anxiety, the range anxiety I'm talking about.
Right. So I don't know, but we'll see. Davin says, congratulations to her. I will tell my daughter congratulations. And Alex has to, if she wins, Alex has to put on a suit and escort her on the football field.
My suit.
No, it is not. I'm going to make sure he has a nice suit and tie, and I'm going to make sure I post that in the community thing, and I'll post it on the Facebook page too, so y'all can see for once Alex all cleaned up a little bit. R. Clyde Lockley says, blessings to you too. Dropping the cylinder didn't work for the Cadillac back in the day, so why would anyone think it good today?
They should have left that in the grave, because Cadillac had this back in the 70s or the 80s, and it was a big flop. Oh my gosh, it was bad. I read.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm starting to believe some of the conspiracy theories myself. Tim the mechanic. Okay, fellow mechanic. Hello, the Dodge 5.7 Hemi 2009 Plus is junk. All right.
All right, there you go.
Who that asked that question? Who was that asked the question about the Hemi? Why can't I find you? Here we go, Mr. Otis. Mr. Otis, he's answering your question right here. Tim the mechanic says 2009 Plus is junk. 4 different engine replacements, same truck in 3 months that customer brought and paid me to replace.
Ooh, that's ugly.
Sheesh. You know what? Seemed like an standing customer there, because most customers would have been like, why do I gotta keep paying? Ma'am, I wasn't there when you chose the car, baby. I'm just here to repair. Thinker Outside the Box says this 6.1 Hemi is my preference. No MDS cylinder deactivation, and haven't heard many cam lobe issues.
No, me neither. In my opinion, the SRT lineup, they build this stuff with performance in mind, like I always say. And that being said, they use better parts. In my opinion, they should have just used the better parts all the way around, and they wouldn't be in the same boat. You know, it's just a better quality lifter.
I don't know. I saw a funny comment, because we posted that with the last live. Somebody commented, I mean, it's a pretty silly question. All cars they're not made to fail you. They won't last forever. Clearly, he didn't watch the live, because we never said that. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna design a Chevy Cruze and you're gonna line it up with all kind of plastic coolant parts,
don't make no sense.
It's made to fail. The plastic is going to brittle like it does. It happens.
Guys, if you look under the hood of any mint condition 70s, 80s car, probably Anyway, what I'm trying to get at, the radiator and tanks are metal. These are all metal construction, whether it's made out of whatever metal material. I'm not going to get into that. Guys, that radiator is still ongoing to this day. The dang on it'll be so deteriorating, but it won't leak. I've seen where the radiator fins is literally falling off, but that radiator still cooling and going down the road 30, 40, 50 years later.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and now these plastic end tank radiators not even lasting 2-3 years.
Well, my issue with that
you
is
plug it up right here.
Okay, you smart. I love you, babe.
I try.
You know how you know what everybody think?
Did it work?
We so good. Man, we was arguing right before this live. Well, I was. He was just there. Because he made me mad. But we cool now. Anyway. Now.
We're not going to cut off.
Nick says, I love you guys. We love you too, Nick. We love everybody. Lots of pictures of Alex. I got you. I'm going to make sure he get his beard lined up and everything like that. Be looking all suave and good.
That's the only reason I have long hair. My hair is actually pretty long. But I keep it bond up. I don't like haircuts. I never did.
I got tired of fighting him with all that. I just let him grow the hair. Tim the mechanic says 2010 Ram 1500, my first repair. Cam lifters at 67,000. Wow. Okay, so there you go. So they can fail before 100,000 miles. Talking to you, Otis. So I hope you gathering all of this stuff.
This guy, he must work on a lot of what do you specialize in, Tim?
Tim, do you work at the Dodge dealership, or tell us your experience?
Do you specialize in a wide variety of vehicles, or only Mopar product?
All right. OJ said, love your channels, guys. Have to go. Currently 2 a.m. in South Africa. Wow. All right,
well,
OJ.
I appreciate you for stopping in.
Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you. All right, so I'm gonna
back to the topics.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, Lynn. I'll explain that to you in just a second. So back to it. Number 3 on how to not get ripped off when buying a vehicle. Inspect the vehicle. It's more to it than just what it looked like, because a lot of dealers, whether that be, I've had somebody buy a rust bucket from CarMax.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Horrible. Man. Couldn't even do what her brake lines was rusted.
Yeah, the brake lines rusted out and they couldn't stop.
I don't care who you buying it from. Inspect the vehicle. Somebody come in it, well, who want to get on the ground? You, if you want to not get ripped off, do what you got to do.
You don't even have to get on the ground. They make borescope cameras with the long thing. Get up out of there with that. You can stand up.
Put your phone under there. Take your phone, hit record, slide that bad boy under the car.
Yeah, get crafty with it.
But no, I know people that used to, when Alex was a mobile mechanic, people would call him out to the dealership. Yep. He charged $60 to come out and help them. And as a bonus, he used to show them the Kelley Blue Book value to see if they're getting ripped off or not. And they'll pay him for his time and go.
Definitely. That brings us to the fourth one.
Mm-hmm. Well, what?
Check value.
Check the value.
Check the value, guys. I'm very big on this. The tools that I use to check the value is I check street value, street market value, and I check Kelley Blue Book. Mm-hmm. That's always been my go-to. But in certain instances, Kelley Blue Book can be wrong. Let's take a 95. Let's just take a Nissan 240, for example. Right?
Definitely gonna be wrong on that one.
Of course, I got other examples. Kelley Blue Book gonna book it high, but a Nissan 240 is gonna be low on value. Let's just guess. I haven't looked it up in a while, but let's say just $3,000. Mm-hmm. But the street value of that car is $6,000 to $10,000.
I'm gonna look it up right
95
now.
Nissan 240. The average mileage is
now
about
for those of you who don't know what a Nissan 240 SX is, a lot of gearheads buy that car. It's actually a nice car.
I had one.
We had a 95. Car.
Yep. Let's look up a 95.
Let's look up a 1995 Nissan 240 SX.
Check the value on that. Check both. Put in all the information. Do your Carfax on these vehicles. That's important, even though that's not necessarily accurate, but it does just give you a general idea. So what did it say? Yep, 3. Oh, I'm good. 3
I don't know
stats.
if y'all can see it because my camera is
there you
tripping.
go. It's clearing up.
$3,000. That's laughable, honey. Because if you
Yes.
go on Facebook Marketplace, a shell without the engine and
That's
transmission.
$3,000.
That's what you're going to get for $3,000. So that's what he means by market value and then street value. Let me bring it to, because not everybody on here is a gearhead and not into cars.
Well, you don't necessarily. That's just an example.
No, a Chevrolet Malibu. Those cars are blue booked higher than what I can sell them for on Facebook Marketplace because the market is saturated.
The market is down. It's like buying houses. Our neighborhood is going up because they keep. Let me explain the market, babe. You're a real estate.
Let's just stick to cars. Why are we bringing real estate into this? Let me explain it to y'all. Okay. All right. Now, like I said, the Malibu is such a economy car. Everybody's got one. Well, you know how supply and demand goes, right? If the supply is low, supply is high, the demand is high. I don't know. Wait a minute.
You messed that up.
You messing me up because you had said
if the supply is low, the demand is high.
There you go. You smart. Come on in now. Okay. So if the supply is low, the demand is high. Okay. But if it's the other way around and the demand is low and the supply is high, the prices are going to be cheaper than what it's valued at. So I can get a Chevy Malibu all day and it'd be worth $6,000. Well, it's a nice one that's equal to mine on Facebook Marketplace going for $3,500. I can't get no more than 4 out of it unless I catch a fool.
That being said, don't be a fool. If you go into the dealership and you see this Malibu sitting at the lot, like, oh, I like it. It's so clean and nice. I got cash. I got $8,000 cash, and that's what they want for it. And the smart thing would do, like, wait a minute, I see this car right here going for this amount with this amount of mileage. Let me check the street market. Let me get on Craigslist.
Well, nobody be on Craigslist
no more.
Facebook Marketplace offer up if it's not trash in your town.
Yeah.
But check and see what they're selling for, because that's if you got cash. Now, if you're financing, then I guess you have no choice.
You have no choice.
You can negotiate a little bit, but they're not going to give you a car for street value. Just dealers not going to do it. Now, as a dealer myself, I try to stick between the fair market value. I don't really sell at retail. If I get it cheap, I try to sell it affordable.
The only time you're going to be paying full fair market price with us if you're financing it.
Right. If I'm the bank,
it's going to be our fair market price. If if it has a scratch here, if this is not working, of course we're going to drop it down. And
I try to make it fair, but I do buy here, pay here vehicles with people. If I'm the bank, you need to give me retail price, because I don't know if you're going to run off with my car or whatever until you pay it off. But if you're coming up cash, I'm going to give you that Malibu for $4,500, because you can go on Facebook Marketplace and get another one just like mine. Now, I don't know if that car is tore up or not, or what's really real, because people do cheat people. But to make it competitive, I have to check the KBB, the Kelley Blue Book, and the street value. So and that goes right back to research. You know what I'm saying? That ties back in with number 2, research. Too many times people are out here buying lemons. And by the way, in the state of Georgia, I don't know about the rest of y'all, because I know y'all from different places. Georgia, the lemon law only applies to brand new cars that you buy off the lot.
They quick to call it.
Not used cars.
Used car, lemon law this.
That only lemon law is if you go to Superior Chevrolet and you buy something that went kaput, the engine done went out and you underwarned, that's a lemon. That's a manufactured lemon. But a used car, there's no laws really to protect people here in Georgia. Now, I know California have some stricter
California
car laws over there, but you got to research
and go back to research who you're dealing with. I always tell people this: whoever you're dealing with in life, whether it's the bakery down the street on down to the car lot and part store, go online. It don't take long to look up reviews. Reviews will tell you a lot. They all 100% 5-star, and he only got like 20 reviews. It most likely done had that
family and friends.
Yeah, family and friends special. But if he up in near the hundreds, been in business a long time, maybe a couple of 1-star here and there, that's a pretty good business, because a business can't please everybody, and hopefully y'all understand that.
Right.
when researching it.
I mean, even we got some 1-star. All our reviews is because people didn't get their way. We try to really correct anything that goes wrong with a customer car. It does happen because nobody's perfect. Parts do this and that. So,
technicians have bad days.
Yeah, absolutely. So we try to take care of that. But the next one is number 5 is set your expectations. There are some dealers that'll make that car meet your expectation. If all you're looking for is you want to look good and you want to make sure it's got tinted windows, all this irrelevant stuff
yeah, big time.
that has nothing to do with the drivetrain, and now you're on side of 285 with tinted windows. That doesn't make any sense. Set your expectations. I would pick a car with a great drivetrain, meaning engine and transmission and shift. And if I gotta tint the windows myself, or if it's got a little ding in the fender, it just depends. It depends on how much money you're spending. But set your expectations. If you're in a market for a used car, then you need to have used car expectations. Because sometimes people, like I'm telling you, they'll shine up a turd on you.
Oh yeah, they'll shine the mess out of it. There's a lot of tricks to the trade when shining up vehicles, and be willing to walk away. Don't the worst time to buy a car is when you need to. One.
Yeah,
like oh my god, I just need it right now, and tomorrow you're gonna be needing another one.
Yeah, and most of the time when you rush into
now tomorrow may be a week, 2 weeks on down the road, or near future, but you get what I'm saying, guys.
Right, exactly. Flo, I think it says Flo. Yeah. What is the highest mileage vehicle you've worked on?
Ooh,
I can tell you right now what brand it was.
I can tell you on average.
No, what's the highest mileage? Oh, didn't we just do a Durango with 400,000?
No, that's on average for 500,000.
No, but he want to know the highest mileage you worked on. About 400,000. Yeah.
No,
you remember that man had that 1992 Lincoln, and he tried to put a new transmission in, and that bad boy had 400,000 miles on it.
No,
you remember that?
I work on a lot of 400,000 mile cars.
So in the 400,000 mile range, then that's the highest. Have you ever worked on a 500,000 mile car?
I worked on a 600,000 mile.
Oh, well, that's the highest. What was it?
800,000 mile diesel.
No, that don't count. I'm talking about. We talking about gas burner.
I know. Cheap.
What's the gas burner?
I don't pay attention. I'm sorry.
400. I think 400. That's the highest I've seen in the shop.
That's not the highest I've seen. I've seen higher, but
okay. Well, what is it then? You don't know.
I know I've seen higher, but I don't.
But remember. I bet you it was a Toyota.
Oh, that's common.
It was a Toyota. Tim the mechanic said, no, self-employed, 23 years, work on all makes and models.
Wow, like I'm impressed.
Alex is almost 20 years.
Yes.
Almost. All makes and models, same thing.
Very nice.
Says, rotting and rebuilding your radiator used to be a thing, not replacement.
With the rods, the little tubes and things. Wow.
Yeah, that's definitely old school, guys. You know who might know something about that? My boy,
Dan probably knows something.
Dan, but no, we know him in real life, for real.
Oh, my mama boyfriend.
No, come on, why is this? We tripping tonight. I think we misfiring. He's worked for John. He works for Adam. He used to work on the old.
Oh, Nate. Yeah, Nate know about that.
Yeah, I bet you did that. Ken Trial says, hey guys, I bought a 2010 Chevy Malibu and one of the cylinders is misfiring even after replacing plugs and coils. Any thoughts? I guess we'll start taking questions now.
Yeah. Questions are getting backed up. We don't want to get behind.
Right.
I feel like I got to sneeze.
Go ahead.
Achoo! Choo.
What you think? 2010 Chevy Malibu.
Cylinder 4 misfire. He did the plugs and did the coils.
Mm-hmm.
Could be an injector, but I don't normally see injectors with those. You could have a burnt valve. I've seen burnt valves on those. And if that's the case, cylinder head have to come up and the head have to be redone.
What causes a burnt valve though?
Over revving, high incline driving. Like if you going up to the Smokies a lot and you on those steep grades, steep grades and small cars don't get along.
What else?
You and you
I
have
doubt
to you
that
have
he and the smoke is driving.
no, but whoever he got the car from,
Oh.
just like that Cavalier Cobalt.
Oh.
That Cobalt had the same engine, and he came from. I was like, I asked him. I always asking my customers, where y'all just got finished driving this car at? It was a lot of hills. He was like, yeah, the inclines were steep, and when the inclines are steep like that, you have to nail into the car to keep up, with traffic, and they get it going up the hill, and normally it'll cook the valves.
Yeah. It might be your issue. Cook valve.
You're gonna have to do a cylinder leak down test.
Chevy riding high. I already knew that was you. I already knew that was you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Ken, I hope that question, I hope he answered that the best of his knowledge without seeing.
They normally don't have injector problems.
No Go 50. I hope I'm saying that right. Pre-buy inspections are well worth the price.
Oh, yeah, yes. Definitely.
Bring them up. Mobile mechanics are a thing. It's nothing to call.
Even if you set up your mobile mechanic business around just inspections, that's a niche.
I know a mobile mechanic that just only do inspections.
There's an untouched market right there.
Zane says, what do you think about Subaru WRXs?
See, I'm biased towards Subarus because that was my first car, my first love. She's Japanese.
Your first love?
No, in vehicles.
Better be me.
I definitely was. in the automotive world.
He had a Subaru when I met him.
It's just something about that flat four rumble. Now every car have its downfalls, and Subaru downfalls are depending on what year you're looking at. Head gasket issues, burning oil issues. I've heard of CVT issues, but a WRX, that's more of your sportier version. I don't know if it had the CVT.
Have you ever heard anything bad about the WRX, really?
Well, you got to be careful when you're buying a WRX because people buy WRXs because they're trying to get to the STI status, and that's the next thing under the STI is the WRX, and you may get one that's been dogged out. Yeah,
but green or red?
Green. I like it. I love Subarus.
I do too. Jessica, oh, that's my bestie. Hey, girl, if you're still in here,
Jess?
That's our signal when we trying to get in touch. We send the eye emoji. I see you.
Riding high to send me another things.
Tim, the mechanic says, in the last 23 years, I've done 148 fix and flips. Now, for all of you mechanics, that's what a real money is.
That's all. Sometimes that's all I want to do. I don't have to deal with customers. My main goal. I can't speak for everybody else, of course. Make sure the engine and drivetrain right. I mean, the engine and transmission, and it's up out here. Pass emissions, no lights. Boom. It's a good car to me.
And we make more money flipping cars. So shout out to you because you already know what time it is. But I sell good cars, though.
Yes, always.
You know what I mean? Chevy riding high with another super chat. Thank you so much, sir.
I love that.
Hey, man, I'm thankful for them 99 cents because they add up. I appreciate that, really. And it's your 99 cents, and you decided to give it to us.
I appreciate that. He could have gave it to anybody, but it was me.
John Tavius says, what's up, y'all?
What's happening?
Oh, I forgot about my man Dan from Minnesota checking in. Dan, we were just talking about you. Dan,
he probably know about them radiator rebuilds.
Dan, you used to rebuild radiators? Let us know.
Taking your radiator, get it sent off and rebuild.
All right, let me go because I done skipped down here to Dan. I was happy to see Dan and them and nothing doggone skip Benny.
Dang.
Benny, here you go. Are brake flushes a necessity?
Yes, it is. A lot of people don't think so. But let me give a brief explanation. So, new brake fluid is almost clear. It's transparent. Just like any fluids break down. They have properties in them. And especially brake fluid. Over the years, you're checking it, taking the cap off, servicing it, things like not necessarily servicing it, but just taking the cap off, looking down in there. And brake fluids attract moisture. Also, brake fluid can get burnt. You got to think that brake fluid is in that hot caliper, and when you service the brakes, that hot burnt brake fluid get pushed back up to the reservoir, creating black, nasty looking stuff. And eventually, if you messing up my words. Eventually, if you don't change that brake fluid, it'll start destroying your seals. The worst seal that it can ever destroy is your brake master cylinder. When your brake master cylinder go out, your brake pedal will go to the floor. But if you know what to do, you can pump it up real fast, and it'll kind of pump up. You'll get brakes again. So yeah, very important service.
Clyde up in here with $1. We appreciate your dollar. I appreciate that a lot.
Chevy ride.
Chevy ride. Oh, he done went up to $1.99.
Look at this.
You
man
know
here.
what, Chevy? You showing that on us. We
I love
always appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes.
April, I didn't forget you, girl. Says evening, y'all. Yes, CarMax is the worst. Love y'all. Great info, guys. My issue is we living in a time right now where it seems like everything is the worst.
Mhm.
Dodge is the worst against suit. Hyundai is the worst.
Nissan be tripping.
Nissan CVTs are tripping. Then who else getting sued? GM is getting sued, so you gotta stay away from them.
I think we're in the days times that we live in. We really have to watch our dollar, guys. We have to be careful where we spend it.
Don't be afraid to go backwards. Like I will ride me a 1999 something because what would be the not only is all the cars got their own story to tell they tripping with far as parts and failing and getting sued.
She'll ride an old car. I'm about to give her the keys to my Honda.
No, see, that's not what I said. I said I would. I'm okay with my 2011, what I got. And you just made me forget what I But I was saying, I think everybody's getting sued left from right. Oh, not only that, the prices of the cars just keep on rising. It's like you're paying triple the amount of money just to break down. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I think we're going to go back to horse and buggy in a while. Devin Whitlow says, hey, Alex, how can you tell if your catalytic converter is going bad? And what's the difference between the catalytic converter bank 1 and catalytic converter bank 2?
Nice question. I like it. The first signs of bad catalytic converter is the check engine light is going to come on for PO420 and PO430. And it's going to say catalytic insufficient. Now, the PO420, that's normally bank 1. PO430 is normally bank 2. The difference of banks is the banks are identified by let me get out my example.
I know when you start talking with hands, I gotta lean over here.
So normally you have 2 banks if you have some type of V or flat 4 engine. If it's 2 sides of the engine, if it's bank of cylinders over here and bank of cylinders over here. Bank number 1 is going to be always where your number 1 spark plug is. You can find out where your number 1 spark plug is by going to Google, my best friend sometimes, and typing in your year, make, and model of vehicle, the engine size. Well, let's throw this out here, for example, 2013 Dodge Charger 3.6. And after you put that, type in firing order, and you will see cylinder placements. It'll say some pictures will say front, meaning if you're looking at the engine in the front, bank 1 to be over here because the cylinder 1 is over here, and bank 2 is always the opposite side. Also, other signs of catalytic converter failure, if you ignored that check engine light for so long, you'll start having misfires. The engine won't breathe. You will have insufficient vacuum, because a engine is a pump, just a pump. It pulls air in, compresses it, pushes it out. And when that catalytic converter stop up, it can no longer push out. So your vacuum would drop, causing no power brakes. Your power brakes will start to fail. You'd be like, man, why my pedal so hard? I know I don't have much power as I used to, but now my pedal is, it have to put a little extra oomph behind it. Most likely you have bad catalytic converters.
Question. Now, bank 1 and bank 2. Is that 2 catalytic converters?
Yes. Now you can have bank 1 and bank 2 on inline engines too. It just depends on if they took an inline engine is a straight engine. I'm sorry, babe.
I'm just trying to not get hit.
The number 1 spark plug is going to be all the ways in the front near the timing chain on the inline engine. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. But some manufacturers will divide the cylinders, meaning have two different manifolds. They have a set of three going into one manifold bank, going on down to a cat. Then they'll have another manifold right behind that one going down into another cat. I've seen that with the Jeep for 4 liters and a lot of other vehicles too.
Hope you got that, Devin.
Mhm.
Mark says, "Hey Alex, when should you do a transmission flush?"
I recommend looking in your manual first of all. And if you see in your manual where it say lifetime fluid, ignore that and just make up your own interval. Normally on the to play it safe is 30,000 miles. I always tell my customers every 30,000 miles you need to be changing your transmission fluid.
Well, flushing it though.
Flushing it is a little bit iffy. I don't like flushes.
There's a difference between flush and drain and fill and changing it.
Very much is. So a flush, and they hook up a machine and forcefully flush that fluid out. Now, what that can do in my experience, and by any means, I'm no transmission expert, but I do have experience in the field, guys. So guys, if it's a transmission expert in here, please correct me if I'm wrong. Flushing it will kick up a whole bunch of debris. The transmission do emit debris. You have clutches and things like that. And when that debris get kicked up through that system, sometimes it can get lodged in solenoids and stop up solenoids, do things you don't want it to do. And when you put that new fluid back in there, now it's shifting harder and slipping, doing stuff that it wasn't doing before. So always, especially if you don't have no history on it, especially if you don't have no history on it, don't even touch it. If it looks black and nasty looking, I wouldn't even touch that sucker because it's gonna go on out. It's gonna go on out. But if you have some type of history on it and your fluid look light colored brown, almost reddish, then you can go ahead and just drain and fill. That's the safe. Play it safe, drain and fill.
Eric says Chevy Silverado Trail Boss or Toyota Tundra TRD Pro.
Man,
Toyota.
I'm gonna let the people in the comments answer that question. I'm going Toyota.
I'm always go Toyota.
I love myself a Tundra.
I hope that
I just can't afford one.
We should do a video on how much Toyotas cost. Tim the mechanic said, personally, I don't do dealer, especially with payments. Last week bought a 92 S10 Blazer 1000. All it needed was a piece of tailpipe.
Wow.
Drive through and sold it for $2,700 the first day. Yeah. Man, I gotta love them flips.
And them Blazers, they going up in price too. So you got that for a good deal.
Yeah. And it's 92.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. They're going up.
Man, a car $2,500 or less, or $3,000 or less, it sell year round. Trust me. But yeah, no, I like doing the dealer ones. Once you get enough of them buy here payments coming in, like I'm just collecting money at this point.
It's pretty sweet.
I mean, if they don't pay me, the car is GPS. I will go get it, no hesitation.
They can come knocking on your door.
I ain't even gonna knock. I'm coming to snatch what's mine. And that's the way the cookie crumbles there. It says, Mr. and Mrs. Car Doctor, do you have a website for your car lot? Alfred, I do not, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm what's technically classified as an auto broker in the state of Georgia. I can do the exact same thing dealers do. It's just the difference between them is they have a lot. I think it's an acre wide. I don't. I have an office and a couple of parking spots. So I only flip a few at a time right now because my mechanic is so busy that he can't get my cars in.
But I worked out a plan and now we can. But most of the time, we don't even have time to put it online. Our reputation.
People are buying them broken.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're buying them while I'm still fixing them.
Our reputation is so good. They trust whatever I'm going to do. They're like, well, I want this. I'm like, well, I wasn't going to get to this one right now. But if you want it, show me that you're serious. They're buying them
before I can even put them up. Yeah. I've just sold the 2 cars I just mentioned, that Durango and that Cruise. I've already sold those. I sold those. They never seen the internet. Also, too, I'm getting ready. I got another cruise I'm working on. I'm getting ready to ship that one to Florida as soon as I'm done with it.
Yeah, we don't have time to put them up.
Now, if I can grow, if we could grow and Alex gets more staff,
that's the plan.
Pump my cars out, then I will get one. But for now, I'm just low key. Gado, I'm gonna say, Do you work on a lot of old Crown Victoria police interceptors?
No, because they stay on the road, man. I do work on them
Oh, that's
though.
a high mileage car too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, them
400,000 miles easy.
sheesh. Those cars are tanks. They're they have the ability to take the police abuse and then get turned over to the public and take their abuse. The only thing you're gonna probably find yourself doing on that is a transmission, and it's worth doing, in my opinion. That's the only thing I see going out on those. Of course, you got a regular maintenance
yeah.
items, fixing oil leaks and things like that. But it's yeah, Ford greatest vehicle, one of them.
Right. The only greatest car.
Yeah.
Otis says, thanks for the info on the Ram 1500. You guys are genuinely awesome, and may God bless you and your business into multi-millionaire. Hey, I respect it.
I receive it. Thank you.
Not for real though. I mean, if I just want to be comfortable.
Yes, comfortable. I want to be able to get back.
I don't want no mansion, because who gonna help me clean it up?
I don't want no mansion either.
He an excellent floor mopper, but that's all you gonna get Alex to do. He gonna be like, let's pay somebody. I'm be like, no, man.
Look, now I'm forget one of them driving mopping things, then get bored
Ain't
with
nothing
that.
Sexier than a man with a mop and a broom.
A mop with my drawers on.
Gentavia Chevy Riding High says, greetings, kings and queens. What's going on, man? Tracy says, I have a 2013 Chevy Equinox. Sometimes while driving slow or getting ready to stop, it cuts off, I think she's trying to say.
You may starting to run into some timing chain issues. Those 13, those early Equinoxes, well, all the ones with the 2.4s in them, they have timing chain issues, really bad. Now they come in two different engines. They come in a 6-cylinder and a 4-cylinder. I don't know which engine you have. But it'll help if you just drop it down so I can better guide you. But if you have the 4-cylinder, most likely you're starting to run into some timing chain issues, or you're not necessarily the throttle body is getting stopped up, but something is going on. You should have a check engine light. If you can provide me with that code, I can better help you too.
All right. Tim, the mechanic says, yeah, Toyota best high miles, 45 mechanic, 23 alone injector on the Malibu. Right check injector valve. Also check the wire control and coil pack compression test. Oh, he's answering the guy with the Malibu.
Oh, okay.
Tim, the mechanic coming through. I appreciate
Tim is
it.
the man.
I love it when other mechanics are in the chat, because it's like,
I can't think of everything.
One man doesn't know everything.
Well, I do, but sometimes, guys, I be tired and my mind shut down.
A lot of things is what you're saying. I said one man don't know everything.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I don't claim it neither.
Right. Because somebody, well, you said you know everything.
No,
Man, shut up.
Yeah,
we didn't say, But anyway, I like it with other mechanics, because sometimes they've seen things that we haven't, or experienced things that we haven't seen yet, or vice versa. So shout out to you, Tim, for coming through buddy. And helping out. Zach says, what do you think about the Pontiac Grand Prix with the 3800 series?
Man, that's one of GM greatest V6s there, man. That engine comes in two types, classified simplicity wise. You have the everyday, I'm just want to point A to point B, nothing fancy. Then you have the fun, good old 3.8 supercharger. Get that supercharger. It's good powerhouse. It's not like, oh my God, this is the fastest thing in the world, but it is fun. It is fun to drive those things supercharged. Me personally, I would like the one that's supercharged, because I just like to giddy up and go. But after like 80, 90 miles an hour, it kind of falls flat on its face. But you can get up there quick.
When we first met, you had a Subaru and I had a Pontiac Grand Am.
Yeah.
Okay. Bought that car for $1,500. My first car. Kenya Ayers says 2017 Chevrolet Camaro. Check engine light is on. Took it to Firestone, and they said it's not a recall but a TSB code. Ooh, she coming through with the codes. Was found concerning the transmission. Should I take it to a transmission shop or a dealer? I honestly would start with the dealer, because don't nobody know that TSB like they do.
Yeah, and if something go wrong, the dealership have the money to go after, versus a mom and pop. Well, not all mom and pops, but some mom and pops or transmission shops, um, they will, not all of them, of course, but if something go wrong, they may shoo you off because they just don't have the money for it.
It says transmission control system, a defect with the shift solenoid.
Yeah.
That's what that PO 700 code
So it
is.
sounds like somebody
PO.
may have to go inside the transmission.
So when you're dealing with stuff like that, it's best to take it to the dealership, my dear. That's what I would do.
Now, I would still get the dealership opinion, and because the dealership, I've heard, they're just parts changers now. They will not no longer go inside and fix.
It's hard to find
transmissions.
anybody that will go inside and fix them
Yeah.
unless it's a transmission
Well,
shop.
JT told me that. He was like, we no longer go inside of our Dodge transmissions.
Mhm.
If it has a problem, we will replace it. Versus a transmission shop, if you find a good one, this goes back to my topic, what we talking about before, checking reviews to find a good transmission shop in your area. Take it to them, and they'll probably just replace that solenoid after running the appropriate tests. Yeah, it you can go both ways. You can try the mom and pop shop, or you can just go straight to the dealership. Just do your research.
I vote dealership. Can you?
I vote shop.
It's they car. It's they Chevy.
Not necessarily, man. I'm talking to dealerships, and sometimes they don't even know their own car. I'm like, what are y'all doing? We were trying to find a fuel line, and they keep giving me the wrong stuff for a Nissan Titan.
Dave, I don't know. You got me there. You got me.
Yeah, sometimes they don't even know their own car.
No Go said you pronounced it correctly. It stood for No Go 5.0. Oh, okay. From when I had my Mustang. Dope. I like that. Chevy Riding High say love the content. I'm glad you like it. It made me feel like we ain't coming on here doing this for nothing. I ask him every time we hit record, whether that's on here or a video, what's the purpose? What are we trying to tell people? Because I'm sure y'all don't want to see me follow him around the shop, or do you? Let me know in the comments. Kenya says my 2017 Chevy Camaro lost acceleration while driving, and the check engine light came on. So this is the same lady with the transmission issue.
So when it lost acceleration, basically the car went into limp mode to protect itself. Newer vehicles will do that versus an older vehicle. If it detects a shift solenoid, it'll continue to let you drive the car and burn the transmission up. But these newer generation vehicles will go into limp mode and reduce power, and it'll do funny stuff.
All the more reason why you should go to the dealership. Shout out to you, Joseph, for
Mr.
that super sticker. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much.
Y'all are the man. Y'all the peeps tonight.
The man and the women in here.
Man and the women.
I love it.
Appreciate the love, guys.
Really, for real now. Christian says thoughts on a 1999 Ford F-150 4.7.
4.6. Now the 4.6 I'm familiar with. I think you meant 4.6. If there is a 4.7, I've never seen one. But F-150 4.6, it's the same as a Crown Vic. They're bulletproof. People dog them trucks out left from right, and they just keep kicking. Built Ford tough back in the day. Maybe not today, but but
I would like to know it's a 1999. I told you anything in the 90s I'm rocking with.
Yeah, that's a solid one. I would do that one and the 5.4 if you're looking for a little bit more power. This all goes back to what are you going to be using the truck for? If you're planning on doing a lot of pulling, heavy hauling, that 4.6 is not going to do it for you. It's going to struggle a little bit. It will do it, but you're not gonna like it. You're gonna, oh man, it's dragging. I don't like it. Go to 5.4 if you're pulling stuff. But if you're doing light loads and just little light lumber work here and there and pulling lawnmowers, perfect for it.
Chevy Riding High says, I wish I still had my 1972 Buick Skylar 4-door back in 1989.
Nice.
They don't make cars like that no more.
Man, I just love to look at the body curves on them old cars. It's just something about them. I was messing with one of my mechanics today. He was trying to start a car or something, and he was like, yeah, of course it'll start and run with you. I say his name, Tariq. I'm like, you gotta talk to the car, you gotta kiss it.
Everybody always messing with Tariq when I'm not at work. Wow.
Yeah, like, you stupid.
Zane says, I have a 2017 Subaru WRX and looking to sell because I'm moving overseas. Who is the best to sell to? Such as car companies like Carvana and CarMax. I've seen CarMax cut my sister-in-law $64,000 check.
Man, CarMax
For her
would cut
Audi.
that check.
So I'm going to say CarMax.
We had a customer, I'm not gonna mention no names, but I basically told her to get rid of the car. And I told her take the CarMax, see what they offer you. It was a 2014. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna put nobody's business out. They offered her $1,500. I was like, that was a great deal for what was wrong with the car. They didn't want to take it. Now they're spending ridiculous amount of money to get it fixed.
$7 grand. But here's my thing with that is though,
it's a Kia, man.
But well, yeah, it's a Kia, but with the current climate of buying cars, because that's what this live is about. Is she wrong though? That's like the customer who spent $5 grand on that 1999 Dodge Durango.
But that thing gonna last. He can get another $400-$500.
So you saying after this,
that
you don't
Kia is a POS, man? I did not agree with that, but I'm not. You know, when I'm at the shop, my wife said it's not my job to advise people, but
we're not financial advisors.
Sometimes I try to sneak it in there, but I don't push the issue or just say,
because they don't listen. Alex will say, you don't need to fix this, da 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 da. They just gonna go to the shop down the street and pay them to fix it,
or come back and fix it with me.
So you can't tell people what to do. And there are some customers that'll listen to you, but most of the time people gonna do what they want.
Speaking of customers listen to me, I'm glad a customer listened to me. She reached out to me on Instagram, and I was just talking to her earlier this week, and she was like, she reached out to us to buy a car. She was like, yeah, I got $2,000 or $1,500, something like that. It was like, you're gonna buy a problem with that low amount of money. I was like, you know, do you have a car? I mean, what's your car situation? You're like, yeah, I got an old Infiniti. And I was like, he like, we got high miles. So she sent me the information on it. I was like, no, that's not high miles. Them old Infinitis would go and go and go. I think it had like 220 on it. I was like, that car's not even broken in yet.
Same thing I just said to Uncle Aaron. You know, he got a Toyota. He said 99 or something. He's looking at a new car for $2,000. I say, you better fix that Toyota.
But she listened to me, brought the car into my shop. Man, I got that car running, purring like a kitten. She was just a victim of bad mechanics. You know, people will get victimized by bad mechanics and end up selling their vehicle for dirt cheap, and it'd be a simple fix. Very sad.
I buy a lot of cars from the auction that way for little or nothing.
It'd be simple stuff.
So CarMax to you, Zane. Zane.
I don't know too much about the Carvana process.
Right, yeah. But I'm a vote CarMax because I've seen them cut check.
Yes.
Devin says, thank you. You're welcome, dear. True says, blessing, believed in the Lord. True in the house with beloveds. I love y'all tremendously. We love you back, Miss True. You always coming in here with your loving self. I love it. Tim the mechanic said, I would not flush. It rarely goes well. Y'all better listen to him.
I'm glad somebody is backing me up on
transmission flush is a no-go.
Guys, I don't have y'all are my friends. I don't have a lot of friends in
person.
Does
not. It's just me and the kids.
Yeah. So it's good to talk to other mechanics.
This is the most social you are online.
Yeah.
For real now. True story. Brian says, hello, thoughts on power steering fluid versus transmission fluid for power steering. Which do you prefer when you're filling up
It's your vehicle. Both works, but to keep things simple, use the correct fluid. As a good mechanic, I have to tell you to use the correct stuff, because if you go out and get a new car that's under warranty, but not likely the case because all of our new cars are going to electric stuff with the power steering. But let's just say you get a warranty, you put the wrong stuff in there, voids that warranty. Now you're stuck paying for the bill if it was under warranty. So yes, you can use both stuff, power steering fluid and transmission fluid, or both hydraulic fluid. And I've tried it all and never had an issue with it throughout my years of owning vehicles. Just whatever I have it laying around, I'm like, power steering fluid, transmission fluid. No problems there.
Mm.
But some cars are funny acting towards transmission fluid. It just some cars are funny, but use at your own risk. But I told you to do the right thing and put the correct stuff in
We
there.
have to
And
be we
we're
have to
gonna
be
do it like
politically
that.
correct on
Yes.
the internet, but I hope you got the gist of what he
Yeah.
just said. True says Toyota Tundra all the way, brother.
Yes, man.
The
yes.
name of my truck is called Mystical.
Ooh, I
Ooh,
like it.
Mystical the Tundra.
Mystical the Tundra.
My best friend's husband's Tundra's name is Tummy. Tummy the Tundra.
I love it.
It's a Tundra thing. I guess that's why I need to get one. I want me a
I
black
can't
one.
afford it.
Come on, man. Come on, YouTube. Help him afford it so I can get my Tundra. Tim the mechanic says out of state buyer bought the Blazer, wired me 2700 via
What?
Walmart, paid the ship from Colorado to Virginia.
Wow. And it wasn't no scam. I would have said, I don't trust it.
No,
buddy.
you know what? No, the car game. I've seen some things. I've seen people drive 6 hours to buy a car from me. I've seen people drive 7-8 hours.
Never
to get a car.
wire the money though. I'd be weary about that because it's a scam.
No, to Walmart. Walmart to Walmart.
Okay.
It can't be no scam that way.
Okay, I see. Because there's a scam out there. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna wire you the money and I'm gonna have my shippers to come pick it up. I'm like,
yeah, that is a scam too. But no,
that
Walmart tomorrow.
right.
If I go to my Walmart and the money is there, baby, I'm doing whatever you need to do. Put your car on the ship, get your paperwork, sign this paperwork, baby.
But it's a butt for every seat out there. His granddad or somebody sentimental to him probably had that 92 Blazer that year, same color. So
I've had people say, "Man, my grandma had one just like it, and I want it." So it's a behind for every seat, like Alex says. And I love selling cars. I mean, it just
really bad.
You get the money is great.
You be like,
I mean, because I've gotten a little. Listen, first of all, I only got my dealer license because he don't like to do paperwork, and that's my thing. But when somebody come in and drop $8K on your desk, and 5 of them K is profit. I like it. And I actually come from real estate. I'm also a licensed real estate agent, but the amount of work that it takes for me to show a house and get paid $7,000 in a month or two, I can get that in 2 days. It's selling cars all the way for me, baby. How are y'all doing tonight? What's up, Gene?
Hey, buddy. What's going on, Gene? You were doing pretty good.
Gene, we doing all right. We a little tired, but you know, we're trying to commit to going live like we say we're gonna do. Now, around Christmas time, it's gonna get a little shaky. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
We're gonna be out of town on a cruise ship somewhere.
True says, I clean houses and have been for 30 years. I would definitely give a discount because of the love of Jesus Christ. Amen, sister. We right there for you, baby.
Respect it.
We love it. Joseph says, howdy, just tuning in, family. Hey.
Joseph.
Thank you kindly. She said, what up, Cardoc? Raymond says, Santiago. Mike P in the house.
Yeah, that's my guy.
What's up, Mike? She says, some transmission shops or dealers get a little lazy. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
My Chevy dealership is buns. I think he means it's crap. My daughter, that's the new buzz term, is buns.
I didn't know. Y'all just taught me something. Buds. So okay.
He says range technology plug-in to deactivate the AFM DFM lift and protect lifters. Is it worth it or not?
Depending on what making you talking about the AFM. This must be Dodge we're talking about. It's like a Band-Aid. It will buy you some time. Most of the time, guys, when this stuff fail, it be the regular lifters. Sometimes it don't even be the active fuel management lifters. It be the regular lifters.
We've been seeing that a lot lately. The regular lifters.
They just have oiling issues or defective parts. It's one of the two. So just a Band-Aid.
Souls 2400. How good are the Jeep Patriot Sport front wheel drive?
Crap.
Nope. What's it? Hated it. Next.
Nah, I see them in the shop so much. Some of those have the little CVT transmissions. They go out. Plastic coolant housing. If you're not good engines, though, I like the engines. If you don't run them hot, I don't see too many problems out the engines, but they're destroying stuff with these plastic coolant parts, man. And y'all don't know, some of you, that pull over when the car is running hot. Do not try to make it to the next exit because you think it's just, it'll make it and I feel safer. Pull over, call your local 511 or police, like, hey, I'm broke down on the freeway for the first time. Please, can y'all offer me some assistance? I'm
Mhm.
scared. That's what your tax dollars are paying for,
I just want to skip to the best comment of the night. Sean, you are so talented.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Jim.
I really try. I really do.
Yes, she is. She's a very
He
talented
said,
woman.
"You're so talented. Alex is lucky to have you." Yes,
Look,
yes, Jim, my favorite viewer of all time.
I handcuff her to the bed so she won't go nowhere.
Well, I'm going. Ain't nothing out here for me. But now, how I speak, you would think I love cars, but I don't. I just be over here
Look,
trying to be a good wife, honey.
She got all her knowledge of me. Ready
Yeah, he just won't stop talking.
Yeah.
So it's the knowledge gotta go somewhere. True says a nurse for 40 years in the ER.
Wow.
I appreciate that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I think you said that. I do remember that. 40
I love
years, amazing. You have seen some stuff. You have seen some amazing stuff.
I must get off topic and say the nurses these days, I don't know. Everybody done found out nurses make a little piece of change, and anybody and everybody's becoming a nurse, honey. Tim says, I have a builder for sale. All right, y'all get at Tim. 1984 Mercury Capri. 5.05 speed, same chassis as Mustang, runs 4 BBL. Header not ready daily, 3,000. Denver area. Y'all better get at him if you're looking for it now. He got what you need. I regret buying Mr. Morgan or Miss Morgan. I want to H. I regret buying my 20 Ram 1500 V6. This is for Otis. If you come back and watch this, Otis brand new at 70,000. I have a clutch one code. Talking to the dealership tomorrow. He's scared. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what do you buy? What do you buy?
Old stuff.
I'm going to grab me. If I didn't have you, I would go and get me one of them Buick LeSabre.
If I didn't have me, I'd go out and get me a bicycle.
Kid Frankie 7 said, what's the best thing to do? Rather than flush the transmission, just empty it, fill it back up?
Yep, that would be
Scholar, drain and refill.
Drain and fill.
Yes. Tim says, if it's a Honda with power steering, use Honda.
Yes, that's the only exception. Honda is very funny with their transmission fluid and their power steering fluid. It seems like that's the only exception. Honda is funny. Just remember that.
Yes. It said
you got to use Honda transmission fluid, and you have to use that Honda power steering fluid. These aftermarkets are getting smart in creating Honda only transmission fluid. They cloning the Honda fluid and selling it. Yeah,
I mean they got to.
Yeah, it says approved for Honda, or something it says on the
I don't care. I'm still ordering it from Honda. I don't want no problems with no customers and nothing like that. He says, Tim says, I had cash in hand and I have a scam check on the wall. These scammers are crazy. They're getting creative. Raymond says, I have an 04 Chevy Silverado 4.3 Vortec with 35,000 miles.
That is a good truck. Those 4.3s were another one of GM greatest engines. They hard to kill. What you looking at, sweetie?
I'm just going on to the next one. I'm gonna display this one again. Jim had said that I was talented. Don't be a hater now. I love you, Jim. Angelo says, y'all got Jesus in the discount business. Now let me start praying for my 30%.
So bad.
I guess. Lord, look. Hey, man. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for replying to my message. And it's pronounced H. Morgan. Okay. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, H. I was trying there.
Yes.
I love to get y'all name right because people be screwing my name up.
Yeah, my wife don't like to butcher names. I don't even attempt. I know I'm a butcher.
Seth Fernandez says, are you a GM specialist? I see you work on a lot of Cadillac, Chevys, and GM vehicles. What is the best GM car in your opinion? And what is your brand preference?
I'm no specialist. If you're seeing a lot of things in my shop, that means it's breaking down a lot. I get a lot of Kias, get a lot of newer GMs, get a lot of newer Mopar products. Now, when I say Mopar products, you may have somebody,
Mopar doesn't make it.
Mopar makes the parts for the vehicle, and the parts make up the vehicle. In that case, it's Mopar.
If Mopar or no car, because there won't be no car because it ain't got the Mopar parts.
So the best GM vehicle, it's really doesn't.
He said car. He put emphasis on CAR car.
Okay.
Best GM car.
I got you. It comes down to the engine. I've seen if that the 2.2 earlier Ecotech engines, I think it was Ecotech, found in the Cavaliers, they were great. They didn't have too many issues. See them with a lot of miles on them, going and going. The 3.8s are really good. The older LS engines, car. Yeah. Trying to go to truck.
That's it.
I can't think of
nothing. Ain't no right Cadillac. Now. It's not nowhere on nobody's list, honey. Cadillac, nothing.
Cadillac,
nothing.
Yeah, I don't trust Cadillac.
Car.
What's another good GM
Chevy.
Car? And the Saturn. Well, if you talking specifically,
not the newer ones though. Yeah. The old ones. That's a very tough question.
Yeah, it's tough because it comes down to the engine, the drivetrain. You really have to look at the drivetrain to make that what makes up a good car, the drivetrain.
Black Universe says rear inner fender on the passenger side rusted out on my 08 Ford Escape. The shock is now loose at the top and busted through the trunk.
Jeez.
Is it worth repairing this rusty ass car?
No.
It drives good.
I would get out of that as soon as possible. It sounds like
it's an escape, honey. This is your escape.
Escape from it.
This is your escape right now. Get out of it.
Yeah, when suspension parts start to rust like that, it's structurally not sound, and it's no longer safe to drive. To keep yourself safe and others on the road, try to stop driving that car if you can and get something else, or get it mended back together if you have a good mechanic that is really good with I can't think of the word.
Russ? Rotted body?
No, yeah, good with rotted body. You got to be good with that. Fabrication. It has some good fabrication skills. Yeah, if you're good with fabricating, he can structurally make it sound again, and probably full or nothing. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Marcus says, what would you do? 2012 2.4 GM with maintaining neglected, remove valve and found worn timing components, then neglected of oil changes. Thin oil, dirty CC is giving me reason to decline. No.
I would sell them an engine, especially if you're seeing a lot of sludge build up in it. I wouldn't even work on it. I've declined many of those 2.4s. I open it up. I see black stuff, sludge, timing stuff loose. I put it back. I take pictures, put it back together, and be like,
see, you can't help it.
I can put an engine in it, or you can go sell this thing or drive it to it blow up. But I'm not touching it.
Right. Raymond says, my sister has a Chevy Cruze with the 1.4 turbo engine, and the turbo line were a pain to replace. I use your video from my way back to do the job. Hey,
that video helped a lot of people. I'm so glad it did, because people don't know.
Right. We got to get back to doing tutorials.
I've been slacking.
What's happening is the YouTube is growing, and it's sending an influx of customers, and I just can't keep up, because when he's working on cars, he's like a little bee.
Yeah, I'm all over the place.
All over the place. And
I'm doing several things at one time, helping my guy, trying to do what I need to do, diagnosing, running a shop. It's just,
I'm somewhere doing, if I'm not at the shop managing, and our staff is really good. Like, I really can not go in and they're going to do what they need to do. But mom stuff, okay? This kid is doing homecoming. This one's rehearsing for a play. So it's just a lot of stuff, but we're trying to really get back to filming more tutorials to help you guys, you DIY guys.
You about to drop another tutorial, right?
Yes. It's a 2 hour long. That's another thing. The last tutorial he did is 2 hours long, honey. I don't like to sit and watch movies, let alone
and this tutorial was filmed about a month ago.
I'm trying, y'all. Don't judge me. Jim says regular power steering fluid will destroy a Honda. They also changed the fluid in 2009. Make sure you get the right fluid.
Yeah, it'll leak and cause all kind of issues.
And y'all, Jim worked on cars longer than Alice been alive, I think, if I remember correctly, honey. So listen to him.
Jim is the man.
Listen to him. I listen to Jim before I listen to Alex. But like, what you think, Jim? Randy,
hot mess.
Echevarria says the Northstar is a hot mess, honey. It's out of sight, out of my mind. Because if anybody say North anything,
I make a joke about them. You know, if you look on Marketplace right now, you can find an almost showroom ready condition Cadillac with the Northstar in it, going for $1,500 to $2,000.
Get you a car.
Sometimes people gotta start using their mind. Like, why is this car so cheap?
Right.
But most people Oh, look at it. It's mint. It almost smell brand new. Yeah, get it and have all kind of problems. Can't even drive the car.
He said it looks good with the through and good though in the wood grain.
Yeah, hey, it look good sitting in your driveway or broke down on the side of the
Be riding on him like, man, that's a nice car. Tim says, night guys, I have to do some welding. As for GM, the trucks stay away from the Acadia 3.6 engine.
gosh.
Trash. Good night, Tim.
Good night, Tim. Thank you so much for joining. Buddy.
Yeah, I hope I see you on Sunday. We'll be back Sunday to answer car questions. True says you got a blessed boo. Yes, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. You heard this song, Stick by Your Man. But I thought you guys, I give you guys prayers every day since I ran up on your channel.
That's so sweet.
My husband's a farmer and a pharmacist, so me being a nurse is a whole lot of work, picking eggs. Oh wow, checking animals on the ranch. I'm so busy, but my cars have to be running right. He has Chevys for his farm vehicles, and I have a Tundra and a Lexus.
She living my life.
Right. That's what Alice trying to do.
I'm trying to get to farming.
I'm not a bee. Now I might let him get a couple of goats, little baby chicks. That's it. I'm not doing
I'm getting some horses and a whole bunch of stuff. Pigs.
Lord help me.
I'm trying to be self-sufficient, guys.
Roger.
If the world go to crap, you're gonna have to fend for yourself.
Ever since he watched The Walking Dead, the first season, he been on that. I've been out. Anyway, come on, because we got to wrap this up. I'm going to get a few more of y'all in here, then I got to go to bed. Roger says, what's up, Dynamic Duo? Greetings from Los Angeles, California. What's going on, boo? Brandon says, well, let me read his name. Brandon, make it happen, Rogers. I'm feeling it, Brandon. I'm feeling it. I love you guys. Can I put a set of heads from an 07 Suburban with a 5.3 on a 2003 Silverado 5.3?
Yes. Though when it comes to GM, I done did some amazing things. Like, man, it's anything LS base, you can swap, mismatch the heads. If it's a 6-liter down to the 4.8. The only thing you can't miss and match no more is the new LT engines because they went direct injection. You can switch rec port heads over to a cathedral port, vice versa. So much you can do, and so many performance gains if you do the right setup.
Hope that answer. Make it happen now. Go ahead and switch it and make it happen. You see what I did there? See what I did? Alfred says I have a wait a minute.
And you gotta make sure you use the correct intake. If you can switch it from rec port heads, you have to use you have to use the right intake. Rec and
Alfred says I have a 14 Charger, 130,000 miles. I was quoted $270 for a thermostat housing. I decided to look to YouTube to see if I could do it myself. I found one of your videos and I was able to do it myself. Hey,
$270.
But see, that's why we do the videos.
That don't sound right.
Wait a minute. Did you see the one where he did the thermostat housing blindfolded? You got to check that out. That was a fun video to make. Yes, Alex did that same job.
And, our beloved Harry is in that video.
Yeah, our tech who passed away, he was in there just trying to help Alex. Alex like, no, don't help me, Harry. I got to do it. So if you got time,
I can't even watch that video no more.
Yeah, no, man.
But I feel it's sad.
I miss you, Harry. But check out the video if you can. He also says, then I saw your vid on Lifter Ticket. Next day I heard the same sound on mine.
Man, geez.
Says I am Jedi 06 says, have you seen a drop in quality of OEM parts?
I think I have. I've seen a drop in quality across the board when it comes to parts. So much drop in quality where I stopped taking particular jobs due to quality in parts. So yeah, unfortunately, it's the time.
Yeah, so that's a great segue to end it, and I hate to end it, guys. I wish I could answer all of you guys' questions, but I gotta go to sleep. I want to just highlight Jim been doing this for 43 years under the lift. I know it all, just can't do it anymore. And we think about that with Alex, like he won't be this young forever, So like putting the stuff on YouTube is like a legacy.
Yes, it is.
We will be able at 80 years old, 90 years old, look back on these videos and see the videos and see like, man, you remember that? But I
want to answer one more. He said, which is better, the 3.5 or the 5.0 Coyote?
Where that's
right there, EcoBoost.
All right.
I like that question. In my opinion. Now, both are really good engines. don't have anything bad to say about either engine. Now, it really goes back to what are you going to be using the truck for? Um, if you're going to be doing a lot of pulling, um, and you want something a little bit easier to maintain, I say 5.0. You don't have to worry about turbos. Um, you know, heating turbos, they like to heat up. And I've heard, lots of pulling with those EcoBoosts will start to heat them up and you start running into issues. So a lot of people, they'll go out and just get the V8 so they can just hammer down on it and pull reliably. But if you want good fuel economy and you're using this truck as an everyday truck, because hey, we guys, sometimes we just like to drive in our trucks and without pulling anything, then I say EcoBoost, because the gas mileage is amazing on those trucks. And performance wise, it can probably stick with a 5 liter or beat it. I haven't looked at no race videos, but they're fast. So yeah, just wanted to drop that on you before I leave.
Yes, Otis. That's the same person that asked about that Ram, so I think he's looking at something else.
Oh
now.
yeah, I love both choices, though.
Good for you.
Yes,
Mr. Otis. All right, so he was asking, have you seen a drop in quality OEM parts?
we answered it.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I finish my sentence? Okay, since you want to pet me, all right.
That's what you can do, guys. So you guys out there to calm the wife or girlfriend, they just say, I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, because it give me it takes my I can't argue back. He had said he was sorry. No, don't. Anyway, what I was saying was this is a great segue to explain to you guys why we're gonna stop doing GM lifters because of parts quality. Right now, when we're doing that, we're only as good as the parts. Alex has done a Cadillac 3 times. Every time we put the part in there, it collapsed. Now, one might say we're using Milling brand. That's been our favorite brand to use. But then I'm thinking if the manufacturer parts are failing at 90,000 miles, then why would I go back and get dealership parts? So I'm thinking parts quality is definitely taking a decline. Cloyes, another brand we like to use for timing chains, the chains are falling apart. And it's getting us stuck redoing the timing chain on this Chevy Traverse.
It's been a nightmare.
The GMC Terrain. So we're doing a lot of warranty work for pennies. And then because the parts company only going to give us not even, okay, if our labor rate is 125, we're only getting 60, and that's only up to 50%. So we're stuck doing these huge jobs for nothing. Tying up
the customer come first.
Customer come first, and then let's talk about catastrophic damage. That chain that came apart on that Cloyes brand timing chain.
The chain just broke in half.
$1,600 kit. Broken half, causing her to have a bent valve. So we got to fix the valve, and then she's all right. Well, you guys have it. It's too much.
Yeah, she was mad at us. Oh, you guys had our truck for da 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 da.
Hey, most shops would have charged her for that bent valve, but we didn't.
Ma'am, I had to work your truck back in. Your truck just popped up out of nowhere on the tow truck. I had scheduling appointments. I had to work you back in. I had to fight with the warranty company on your behalf. Then the truck made your work. It's a Traverse. Everything had to be. I literally had
to send her a picture. Now I know most people say, "Oh, you can do it in the truck." Listen, we like to do things by the book. You know what I'm saying? So I sent her a picture of her cradle on the ground. So with that, it's becoming a better business model. If we just stay away from the big jobs like that.
Now I always say that I would go out of business making it right for my customers. Yeah, but I'm not trying to go out of business.
Right. We gotta eat. We gotta feed 5 kids.
I have to switch around some things to, keep things smooth as possible.
So because of the quality of OEM parts and aftermarket parts, it's causing us not to want to take on these big jobs like Hemi. We've had nightmares with Hemi lifters. So we're not doing those anymore. We've had nightmares with GM lifters, timing chains with GM stuff. So it's tough right now, and we're just trying to modify the business model to see. Right now, we're just sticking to regular maintenance, water pump, timing belt, stuff like that.
And we're not gonna forget about y'all Pentastar folks.
Oh no, I do them in a heartbeat. I haven't had any problem with Pentastar lifters.
I had one comeback, and that was. He
had a leaking oil cooler though.
Yeah,
and that could have contributed to that.
But I still made it right with him. I went ahead and replaced this lifter again. It was started ticking again after about a year. But that was the only comeback I had on that.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. I'm just gonna say hello to everybody. Hello, Miguel from KC.
Miguel in the
Sherrod,
house.
hey, what's up, man? What's happening? Miguel says, "Oh, come on, I retired from gym. Show me some love. We love you.
We love you.
We love you. See, that's why they messing up because you retired.
Yes,
you
man,
need to go back. So
They
stay
need
away
you.
from gym. I can't say that because Miguel in the room, but you know what it is. Richard says, Mr. and Mrs. Cardock, how y'all doing? Didn't know till y'all was on. Assured One Mobile Mechanic. Just hey and take care. Hey, Richard.
Hey.
Blessings to you and your business. That is true. Subaru is just as good as Toyota. Is it true? Yes. Yes, it is.
They in cahoots with each other, in my opinion. Subaru and Toyota. They both Japanese manufacturers.
Yes.
So they probably buddies and go out and smoke cigars and do big boy stuff together.
Last one, because this is a follow-up to his question about the OEM parts. He said, I asked because I'm on the third water pump out of the box, weeping and bearing, leaking at 100 miles on both Grand Cherokee V6 Mopar parts, by the way. Sometimes it's better to go aftermarket. That's just like me going to get OEM lifters. Why would I do that if the OEM lifters are failing? So sometimes it's better to go and get an aftermarket. Sometimes, like, okay, for instance, the oil coolers. Well, is the dealership still selling plastic oil coolers?
Yeah, they're not,
because Dorman and other manufacturers have the aluminum ones. So it would be smart to go get the aluminum one because that plastic one is going to keep failing.
Or vice versa. I've been running into a lot of issues with thermostats on the 3.6 Pentastars. I've been doing a lot of warranty thermostats. So I'm starting to go back dealership now. Sometimes you have to go back dealership.
Sometimes you got to switch it up. So if you're on your third OEM one from Mopar,
it would have been the second one. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing third time's a charm. I'm going down to AutoZone or whatever and get something else.
Yep, and I'll end it right here. Just because it new don't mean it works.
Amen to that.
All right. You guys, thank you for coming to the live. We will be live again on Sunday. I know sometimes I don't get a chance to post it in the community or post it on Facebook. Lives are Wednesday nights and Sunday nights. Sunday at 7:30, we'll be back answering the car questions. And then I have some updates about the channel and stuff we're doing with new merch that's coming out for those of you who want to support the channel and things like that. Thank you for taking the time to come kick it with us.
I really appreciate all the love and support.
Thank you for all the super chat stickers. You guys have a good night and a blessed week. And I'm going to answer the last question. The aluminum is doing fine. We haven't had any comebacks if you're talking about the oil cooler. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good one, y'all.
All right.